Hi, boys and girls. Glad you came to school today. Today I'm going to read you a book called Adrift at Sea. Now, it says here, A Vietnamese Boy's Story of Survival. It's written by Marcia Forchuk Skrypuk with Tuan Ho, and the art is by Brian Deans. Here's the backside. I'm going to read it to you. It says, In the middle of the Pacific Ocean, a fishing boat overloaded with 60 Vietnamese refugee drifts, meaning it's just floating there. It's not going anywhere. It's out in the middle of the ocean. It says the motor has failed. The hull is leaking. The drinking water is nearly gone. 6-year-old Tuan Ho watches the endless horizon and wonders if rescue will ever come. In the first picture book of its kind, Marcia Forchuk Skypuck and Tuan Ho recount the true story of one family's brave and perilous journey toward a new life in North America. All right, and the cover looks the same as the other cover. All right, here's the title page. I've read everything to you there. So let's move on. And here's the next page. And it looks like it has some pictures of the family. See what it says over here. Ooh, the writing's tiny. Put my glasses on. It says here under this picture, it says here, clockwise from bottom left, Tuan Lan Lin Loan in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, 1982. So here's the family that came from Vietnam. Let's see, which one is Tuan? Tuan is the first person clockwise from bottom right. This is Tuan right here, the boy. And it goes clockwise. And these are his siblings or brothers and sisters. All right, next picture. It says here, Van, that's the name, and her grandmother, Quong, at the airport before their flight to Canada. Top left to right. Family, friend, and grandmother, bottom right to left. Tuan's cousin, Tao and Chow, and his sister, Van. So here's the family before they get on the plane to fly to Canada, right here. And there's grandmother. And then this is his sister here, and these are two cousins. And this is a family friend. All right, now this top picture, it says here, Tuan's mother, Top, his sisters, Lan and Loan, and 5-year-old Tuan in 1980. There's the family right there, the mother back in 1980. Okay, this is here for those whose quest is freedom. To all Vietnamese refugees, those who made it and those who did not. To my auntie Nia and late Uncle Tree and my cousin Diana and Amanda, who kept us company on our journey. To Auntie Bang and Uncle Hai for taking care of Vanessa. And to my mom and dad for their courage, love, and tireless effort to give us all a better life. It says right there. All right. Moving on. All right. So we have a very beautiful painting. And it says, I don't need this cover anymore. And it says here, when I come home from school today, a jug of water and bags of dried food sit by the door. Ma gathers me into her arms. Are you leaving me now, too? I ask. A year ago, Ba had left with my older sister Lynn. Now there were just me and my sisters Lan, Loan, and Van. We live with our aunts, uncles, and cousins in Ho Chi Minh City. I'm leaving, says Ma, but you are coming with me. When? Tonight, she holds a finger to her lips. The neighbors cannot know. So Ho Chi Minh City is in northern Vietnam. Vietnam is a country in Southeast Asia, and we were once involved in a big war there, the United States. But here they are, and it looks like they're trying to leave Ho Chi Minh City, but secretly. All right, that's what I just read you. All right, now let's go back to the next page. Or I should say forward to the next page. Here's what it looks like. So I'm going to read you these two boxes. All right, it says here on the left, that night I toss in bed. What will my future be? I hold Ba's cap to my face. The scent reminds me of his last words. Be brave, Tuan. Ma touches my shoulder and I jolt awake. I dress in layers and tiptoe down the stairs. Lan, Loan, and Ma are there. Aunt Nia waits with two of her children, but not little Tao. Aunt Bang and Uncle Hai are not there, nor are their children. Uncle Tree is not there either. Over here now, it says, then it hits me. Where is my sister Van? She's too young to travel, says Ma. I almost cry out. Our family is to be broken yet again? The look on Ma's face silences me. Uh-oh, looks like he's not going to be able to take his sister. All right, next page. Looks like they're sneaking out of the city. Okay, it says up here, we slip outside, a truck pulls up. We climb in and hold each other as it careens over bumps and potholes. It stops. Get out before they catch me, says the driver. We hide among bushes close to the water until skiffs appear. Now, says Mom, a skiff is a small boat. Here they are jumping on the truck and arriving at their destination, obviously near the water, so they can get on a boat, because a skiff is a small boat. All right, next page. All right, it says here, I jump over rocks and bushes, running to the boats. Guns fire. One bullet pierces a clump of dirt by my foot. I stumble and roll head over heels. I get up and keep running. Uh-oh, they're shooting at him. See the little red lines? See the little red lines? I don't know if you can see them. See where the bullet hit down here? The red lines are bullets flying through the air from the guards. You might be saying, now wait a minute. Why are they guarding people, Mr. V? Well, I'll tell you. Because they didn't want people leaving Vietnam, I guess, illegally or not. You couldn't just say, hey, I'm going to Canada. You had to get permission. And so these people are sneaking out, you might say. But it doesn't make them bad. They're trying to find a better life. All right, so here's the next page. They're trying to get in a boat, apparently. And it says here, Luan scrambles onto a skiff. That's a boat. Pulling me in. Strangers crawl in beside us. Where is Ma and Lan, my cousins, aunt? The boatman pushes off. Help me, it's Ma. Clutching onto the side, knee deep in water, we pull her in. Uh-oh. His mother almost didn't make the boat ride. Okay. Next page shows the boat taking off. All right, it says here, bullets fly past our head. We duck. The motor kicks over and we speed away. When the gunshots subside, that means stop. Subside means stop. I realize the horrible truth. The rest of my family is lost. We traveled in terrified silence. So I guess the other people they were traveling didn't make it onto this boat. Maybe they got shot. Maybe they were too weak and fell down and decided they weren't going to go. But they didn't make it on this boat. But there may be more boats going. But and you can see the gunshots coming over here. See these red lines? Those are communist soldiers firing at the immigrants who are trying to leave Vietnam. And then I don't know what this is. It looks like a bridge or something. And then it says here, the sea is empty for long minutes, but now a large fishing boat appears. They lower a plank. I walk across, looking down into the inky sea. Moonlit, inky sea. So you know what ink is, dark ink, right? Well, the water looked dark. Numb with sorrow. He's sorrowful because not all of his family that were trying to go made it to this boat. That doesn't mean anything bad happened to him. It just means they're not going to be on this trip to Canada. Another skiff. Lan, Aunt Nahia, beside her, the cousins too. Our family is found. Oh, so the other people got on a different skiff to take them out to the big boat. Remember, there's a big fishing boat out in the water. And that's the boat that's going to take them to Canada and a better life. And here's a look at it. It certainly wasn't a cruise ship. They had to sleep on the floor, apparently. It says, after they board, another skiff appears, and I count heads as these people walk the plank to our larger boat. We are 60. The captain starts the motor, and we speed away. It's hard to find a place to sit, but finally we huddle together, clutching hands and falling asleep to the lullaby that's like a song of slapping waves and the growl of the motor. There they are. That's their accommodations. They don't have a nice hotel room. They're just laying on the deck of a fishing boat. No beds. Hopefully there's, yeah. All right, next page. All right, it says here, next morning the sun burns down onto my face and my throat is like paper. What I would love is a tall, cool glass of milk, but I know that's not possible. Ma, can I have some water? She pours a trickle into the cap of the jug and hands it to me. I gulp it down. More, please. This trip lasts 4 days, she says. This is all the water we have. So 4 days on a boat, and all they have is that one jug of water. There's no cafeteria on the boat to go. They got to feed themselves. It's like an escape boat. Looks like she's trying to sleep again. Somebody's foot's right by his head. So it's crowded. It says here, I take off one of my shirts and put it over my head to block out the sun. I drift in and out of sleep, thinking of water, dreaming of milk. My lips crack and my skin peels. If you're out in the sun on the water, that's what's going to happen. All right, here we go. More. It says here, on the second day, our boat springs a leak. Uh-oh. I wish I could drink the water that laps around my feet, but it's full of salt. You know, the seawater is salty and it's not healthy to drink. Ma and Nia take turns bailing. Bailing is like shoveling the water out of the boat. That keeps it. It'll keep it from sinking. It's hard work, and few offer to help. Don't they realize our boat could sink? The captain gives them a bottle of water in thanks. We hide this treasure in our bags. Wow, the captain saw these two people bailing water. See how they got buckets and they're throwing water out of the boat? And the captain noticed and said, here, you can have a bottle of water. So that's good news. They've got a little more water to last them for 4 days. Remember, there's a bunch of people. Here they are. There's the boat. It's a ship. It's a fishing boat. It's not a cruise boat. Yeah. It says here, on the third day, I wake to a sudden silence. The motor growls no more. We're all going to die, says one man. Others cry out in panic. The captain mutters under his breath as he tries to fix the motor, but it's no use. We are adrift. You see this boat full of people? The motor's dead. And they're out in the middle of the huge Pacific Ocean. They're going to die if they don't get rescued. I have a feeling they do. Oh, wow. Looks like the boat's on fire now. He's passed out asleep. Something. It says, on the fifth day, I spy a boat drifting like we are. That night, as I sleep, that other boat is suddenly bright with fire. I wake up to the commotion on our boat. They think we're a rescue ship, says the captain. They've lit a fire to get our attention. The flames in the distance suddenly envelop the boat. It overturns. The flames and boat are swallowed by the sea. We 60 people on this fishing boat stare in silent horror. But there is nothing that we can do to help. Will this be our fate as well? When I close my eyes, I see that burning boat. I cannot sleep. I go to help Ma bail water. So this is not their boat that they're on. This is another boat that's full of refugees, people who are trying to leave Vietnam. But they set a fire to try to get the attention of this guy's boat, which it doesn't work either, and it actually set the whole ship on fire, and everybody on that ship probably died. Sorry. All right, next page. Yeah, looks like we got some sea life coming in here. Dolphins. All right, it says here, as she empties her pail over the side, she's bailing out water out of this boat. It's about to sink. She gasps. I stand on my tiptoes to look. Just below the surface are many dolphins. It's a sign, Tuan, Ma says. Her words confuse me, but I'm comforted too. So you can kind of see them looking over the side of the boat into the water. See? And down in the water is underneath the ship are these dolphins. Okay, I wonder if they could catch one and eat it. Might be kind of tough. Dolphins aren't known for being able to. Oh, wow, look at that. That is an American. That's the U.S. Navy, the United States Navy. And it looks like it's a aircraft carrier. Aircraft carrier, you know, kind of has planes on it. On day 6, now they're out there 6 days now, floating around, engines dead. I see running out of water, running out of food. On day 6, I see something in the distance that seems too big to be a ship. It looks like a bright white light. As it gets closer, the captain cries out, "It's American!" An aircraft carrier. "Help us," I whisper. My throat is too dry to call out. Wow, look at the size of that ship. I don't see their boat in the picture. All right, so that's like a net they're climbing up to get out of their boat. I guess the U.S. Navy rescued them. The massive ship looms above our tiny boat. The American sailors wave. When we are close enough, we see their smiles. A sailor tethers us. They lower a rope ladder. Tether is another rope that holds the boat from floating away while they drop this rope ladder. So they have to climb up this ladder made of rope. We climb up one after another. When it's my turn, I am afraid I'll be too weak to hold onto the ropes, but I can't give up now. I climb. A sailor lifts me off from the topmost rung and sets me on the deck. He smiles and talks, but I don't understand. So the sailor's speaking in English and the boy's speaking in Vietnamese, or trying to. So that's why he doesn't understand. But I'm sure they'll figure things out. Here we go. Oh, yeah. Looks like he got his glass of milk. It says here, he gives me a tall glass filled with milk. I gulp it down. The cold wetness soothes my parched tongue and throat. I hold up my glass, hoping for more. The sailor beams. He gives me another and another. I smile. We are safe. So he keeps feeding him milk. He keeps drinking lots of milk. Milk's good for you. All right. Wow. They're rescued. They're on board the I was going to say they're on board the Enterprise, but they do name ships the Enterprise. Anyway, so here's a picture of some more pictures of what's going on. I'm going to try to read this to you. It's not 30 minutes yet, so I try not to keep my videos over 30 minutes. All right, let's read it. I got to put my glasses on, though, because the writing is much smaller. See? I'm going to read this to you. Okay, it says between 1955 and 1975, that was the end of the Vietnam War in 75. The Vietnam War was fought between North Vietnam, supported by the Soviet Union, and South Vietnam. Starting in 1965, the United States sent over 553,000 troops, in other words, soldiers, to help its South Vietnamese allies. 58,220 of them lost their lives before the war ended in 1975. So 58,220 American soldiers lost their lives fighting in Vietnam. That's a lot. But to put it in perspective, more people have died of the coronavirus in the United States than soldiers died in the Vietnam War. It says the communist forces overtook the South Vietnamese capital of Saigon, now known as Ho Chi Minh City. So the communist North Vietnam basically won the war and drove the United States out. It says here, the new communist government punished those who did not share their beliefs. In other words, if you were on the American side and you were a Vietnamese living in South Vietnam trying to help, fight the war, you're going to be in trouble once they lost. Thousands who were labeled enemies of the people were executed, while others had their homes confiscated and were forced to live in the jungle. The new government made it possible for shop owners to continue doing business, and it also targeted some minorities with particular harsh treatment. It is a testament to how horrible life was that so many thousands of Vietnamese were willing to risk their lives for a chance to escape. So things were bad. They were from South Vietnam. They were like the enemy, and North Vietnam came down and beat them. So if you were like the enemy, you were going to have to go to live in a work camp or live in the jungle or something. But it wasn't a happy situation in South Vietnam after we lost the war. Um, for 20 years following the fall of Saigon, that was the southern capital, uh, people tried to escape Vietnam any way they could. The only way out was by sea, and those who could afford it would bribe government officials in order to get their documents and a boat. Those who didn't have the money had to sneak away secretly and without travel papers. Rich or poor, they all ended up in boats not made for long travel on ocean water. In other words, those fishing boats were not designed to be at sea for long. So if you were stuck on one, you were in trouble unless an American or Canadian or any other friendly nation ships found you floating. So I think a lot of people didn't make it. In 1979, this is kind of a little bit later, the number of boat people increased dramatically. Large boats filled with refugees tried to land in Southeast Asian countries like the Philippines, like Taiwan, like Singapore, Indonesia, but they were denied permission until Western countries agreed to resettle them. In other words, these people on these boats would land in, let's say, the Philippines islands. And the Filipinos were saying, oh my God, we already have enough problems trying to feed our people. But finally, the United States and Canada and other countries, too, in Europe, maybe even South America, definitely South America, they would say to these countries who are receiving these people, they would say, you know what? We'll take them as citizens. They can come to our country to start a new life. All right. So it says here, where was I? Um, at the same time that these large boats were looking for a place to land, thousands of tiny boats started out on treacherous journeys of escape. The people in these small boats faced storms and pirates and risked dying of thirst and hunger. So it didn't matter what kind of boat, man, you could get on, you would get on it and get out of Vietnam. Now look, here's a map of Vietnam right here. This is the country of Vietnam. Okay? And I have to look at it before I can tell you about it. It just shows where they were at, these little red lines where they would leave Vietnam, right? And they would go around and around trying to find a place that would take them, okay? It says escape route. The red line is escape route rescued by the aircraft carrier. Yeah. All right. So let's see. It says this is the map showing the journey. This is Saigon. This is the capital of South Vietnam, or it was. Now it's called Ho Chi Minh City. It's a beautiful Capitol building there. And then we have an overcrowded fishing boat full of Vietnamese refugees. Look, here they are. Here's a boat that the Americans or someone else friendly found and took a picture of them. Look how they're putting like little pieces of paper over their head to keep the sun from burning them. What else? Down here at the bottom, it says Tuan's father, Nam, at his job during the Vietnam War working for Americans as a translator. So here's Tuan's father down here. He worked for the Americans in the Vietnam War as a translator. He would translate English to Vietnamese and vice versa. And then it says Tuan's sister, Lynn and Loan. Here's his sisters, these two little kids. And then it says here, from left to right, Loan, Lan, Tuan, and Vaughn. There they are, all the kids, whole family. And then down here it says Tuan's father, Nam, with his older sister, Lynn, at the Malaysian refugee camp. So here he is as a younger man. Here he is after they escaped. but they wound up in a country called Malaysia. That's one of these countries up here they were trying to escape to. And here they are sitting in like a bunk bed in Malaysia. That's not the United States, though. They had to petition the United States. I think these guys wound up in Canada, but Canada was a nice country too. And here, I'm going to read this to you. It says here, even if they survived the trip and landed in a neighboring country, they were often pushed back out to sea with no place to go. Wow. Temporary refugee camps were set up along the shores and islands of Malaysia, Thailand, Singapore, and other neighboring countries. But they became so overcrowded that the food and water had to be strictly rationed, and sanitation was a problem. In other words, no toilets. All right, they had to go in a bucket. In June 1979, the Southeast Asian countries declared that they could not accept any more refugees. We're full. The United Nations convened in July to deal with the humanitarian crisis. Southeast Asian countries were persuaded to continue providing temporary shelter, and Western countries agreed to accelerate the resettlement process. Most of the refugees ended up settling in United States, France, Australia, and Canada. And as you know, if you live in Albuquerque and have looked around when you're driving around with your parents, we have quite a few Vietnamese restaurants, and that's indicative of the refugees that the city of Albuquerque, state of New Mexico, took in back in those years in 1975 to 1979. People escaping the crisis in Vietnam came to Albuquerque. They're here now, and they have some of them. They do all kinds of wonderful things, like become doctors and lawyers and school teachers and you name it, business people, like the Vietnamese restaurants you see around town. And the food is delicious. Trust me, you got to try it. Vietnamese food is the bomb. All right, we got to wrap it up. It's 32 minutes. Okay, what else? Let me see. I think we're done. Get this last page. Oh my God, there's more. Now it shows them when they're older. Wow, check this out. Here they are, all grown up. The family. See what it says. It says from top left, Loan Lin, Tuan Van Lan, bottom right, Phuoc and Nam, 2016. Tuan and his family. The dude has a family and kids. Check this out. That's the boy, the little boy. Now he's a man. He's got a wife and 2 kids. And that's here he is up here too with all of his sisters. I guess that's his parents. Yeah. Wow, they made it. Thank God the United States allows people to immigrate. Oh gosh, I don't know if I should keep reading. You want to read? Do you want me to read about what happened to them? I'll tell you what happened to them. It says here in 1980 now, Tuan's mother, Phuoc, and his father, Nam, wanted to get the whole family out of Vietnam by boat together. But they realized it would be impossible because Tuan and his sisters were so young. In other words, they might not survive the trip on that boat. Van was 3, Tuan was 5, Lan was 8, Lon was 9, and Lin was 12. Instead, they decided that just their father, Nam, would escape with Lin, the eldest sister. The new plan was for them to get to Canada and sponsor the rest of the family to join them there. They were trying to go to Canada. While Nam and Lin had a perilous journey by boat, who's Nam? Father's Nam. Who's Phuoc? I don't know who that is. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, they did ultimately get to Canada. So the father and the elder daughter got to Canada. Unfortunately, the process of sponsoring the rest of the family was slow and frustrating. Meanwhile, life in Vietnam was getting worse. On May 19, 1981, when Tuan was 6, Phuoc, I don't know who Phuoc is. It's this man, maybe it's his uncle or something, devised a new escape plan, taking Tuan and his 2 older sisters, Loan and Lan, by small boat, just as her husband and oldest daughter Lynn had done the year before. It was a terrifying and risky journey, and she made the difficult choice of leaving her youngest daughter Van behind with her sister and brother-in-law because she was afraid that Van would not survive the journey because it was just a little baby. She was just a little baby. Being on that boat with no, good food. After 2 days of travel and 4 days of drift, they were rescued by an American aircraft carrier. Wow, what a sight. The U.S. Navy transported them to a refugee camp on Bidong Island off the coast of Malaysia. 2.5 months later, they were transferred to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. That's the capital of Malaysia. After 3 more months hanging out in Kuala Lumpur, the 4 of them joined their father and Lynn in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan on October 6, 1981. So Saskatoon is the name of a city in the state of Saskatchewan in the country of Canada, which is north of the United States. Okay? That's where they live. I know it sounds crazy. It's kind of cold up there, but it's beautiful too. Finally, on December 12, 1985, 8-year-old Van and her grandmother Kwong rejoined the family in Toronto, Ontario. Toronto is a beautiful city, with lots of skyscrapers and stuff. I kind of want to say it's like the New York City of Ontario. It's not the capital, but it's kind of like the New York City of Canada. Ontario is a state in Canada, and Toronto is the city. United at last, the whole family went on to build rich lives in their new country. Today, Tuan Ho, I guess that's his last name, and his wife, Idea Lam, who herself was the child of a boat family. He met a woman who had to go on the boat too. Oh, no, she was the child of a boat family, a family who escaped on a boat, live north of Toronto, and are the parents of 2 young daughters, Madeline and Emily. Tuan completed his Bachelor of Science degree at the University of Toronto in 1988. We've talked about that. That's the bachelor's degree. And then he completed his master's degree in physiotherapy at the University of Vermont, that's in the United States, in 2003. Tuan also completed his contemporary medical acupuncture training at McMaster University in 2009. He's an acupuncturist. Acupuncture is an Asian healing practice where they stick needles in your body. But I had it done, and it's great. A doctor once stuck a bunch of needles. I can't remember, in my hand, my shoulder. I don't remember. I forgot. It was a long time ago. But anyway, he's an acupuncturist. So you go to him when you don't feel well, and he sticks needles in you. Hey, you know what? It works. I've had it done. Tuan Ho has been a dedicated physiotherapist for the past 12 years and has recently opened up a physiotherapy clinic. So the guy went on to be an acupuncturist and make some decent money because he went to college and got his degree. That is the end of the book. I thank you so much for listening. Thanks for being such great students. And can't wait to see you guys in person again someday. Have a great weekend. Look for new assignments on Monday morning at 8 o'clock. And I'll put out a short video probably on Sunday night. Maybe Monday morning. Anyway, thanks, guys. Bye.